Constitution of the United States. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. And to bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. That I will obey. The orders of. The President of the United States. And the orders of. Those officers. Appointed over me. According to regulations. And the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is your host, Josh, Outcast Actual here. Joining me is Boo Lake.
What's up, y'all?
So, sorry about last week not being able to make it in, but honestly, I just flipped that on to Miss Jennifer by mistake. Last week was a little hectic, and honestly, it was just everything that was going on, and I was smoked by the end of the day, dude. I think I was up and out of the house at like 3:30 in the morning. Had to drive all the way over to Indiana with a meeting with the Conservation Society and Michigan State University. And
Gross.
By the time we got all the way, we left from there, had to go to Lansing for a meeting, got done with that, then had to go, it was like back to back. By the time like 5:30, 6 o'clock came around, I was like, all right, am I really going to drive to Royal Oak?
How about no?
Well, that's why I'm kind of waiting on, and I'm hoping, and, Dave and Jess and them, here at Podcast Detroit, they're awesome. And I'm hoping, Jess, when she's doing the edits and everything, she mentions something to Dave hearing this, and, this is dropping a hint, wink, wink, that when they're doing all the edits, they remind Dave, hey, Dave, we still have the location in Livingston County that we're still waiting on the equipment to be moved into.
Yeah.
So, but it's pretty cool because if anything, like I was talking to a guy that actually set up Planet Green Trees for Comorn Law.
Okay.
And I've got a meeting with him next Tuesday to go ahead and come out there because we can't really hold off anymore. Like we've got to get moving on it. So he's actually coming out to consult with me to go ahead and get the studio established, get the soundproofing in, get the tables, start ordering the mics, the mixing tables, start ordering all that stuff, getting it all set up.
Sure.
So there's definitely been a lot of stuff transpiring. I don't even know where to start, honestly. I mean, I know that, let's see, we were up in the UP the week before, which that was a big one just because of the fact that, I can't emphasize this enough for a lot of you guys that are out there, guys out and gals, whatever the case is, go get checked out. Stop being stubborn, have you talked to Clay lately?
I have not talked to Clay,
Dude,
no.
Try to talk to him on the phone and listen to how bad he's wheezing and coughing.
Really?
Yeah, dude. And he's a runner, doesn't smoke, doesn't do anything. Occasionally has a couple of glasses of wine now, dude. It's bad. I've been sitting there getting on to him dude, you need to get into the doctor and get that checked out because now this stuff's worrying me because, the amount of guys that we've been dealing with, all having pancreas failure, lung failure, respiratory diseases, all this. I was like, Clay, you might want to go get checked out, dude.
Yeah. Well, how much stuff did we inhale when we were over there?
Well, that's it. And it's honestly funny, though. Most of the correlation that I'm seeing, and I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything, but
right.
Everybody that we're talking to right now that's having the issues, every one of them deployed to the same regions in Afghanistan.
Okay.
So for me, it's just that's pretty simple. The Russians invaded it and probably dropped all kinds of chemical crap and everything else all over the country, and then we come in there right afterwards. Not to mention they wipe their, with their hands and just fling it. So fecal matter in the dust and everything else you're just breathing in.
That's why you don't shake with your left.
Yeah, well, sometimes. It depends, but it just makes me nervous. This cat that we went up there with, man, I felt so bad for him. I mean, he's a young cat, probably early 30s, somewhere around there.
Oh, when you went up to the UP?
Yeah, when me and Juice went up to the UP to do that welfare check on him, man. It was and that was a drive, dude. It was we drove 4 hours to future in-laws' house and stayed there overnight, and then got up at 6 o'clock the next morning and finished the trip into the all the way over at the Wisconsin state line.
Wow.
Sat there with them for a couple hours just talking back and forth and stuff, and then turned around and started making the trip all the way back downstate again. But it was worth it, man. Even they were sitting there saying, that they've talked to so many organizations, so many people, but nobody's ever actually showed up on their doorstep. You know, it's like, well, that's honestly the reason why we came up here, because we kind of figured with how remote you guys are, like,
Sure.
you know, they have to go all the way to Wisconsin to get help and, you know, all kinds of stuff. And like this dude's sitting there, like late, probably mid-30s. He was forced out. He was retired out of the Army.
Yeah.
I mean, I was looking at his DD-214, looking at everything. I mean, like, dude, straight up the Army screwed him.
Really?
I mean, like, oh, hardcore, dude. Like, all this stuff. I mean, he's got medical records backing it up from respiratory issues after 2 deployments. He started coming back. His PFT fell off. You know, I mean, it sees it. And, like, if you saw this guy in person,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a very fit dude. Like, he's not one of those guys
It's overweight.
Yeah,
Got out and just let themselves go to shit.
exactly. I mean, like, he's still, like, to this day, like, you looking at all the pictures and stuff, the only pictures that you see where he gained weight was last year when it was a bunch of water weight when he was diagnosed with all this stuff. And it was misdiagnosed for him, they said, for 2 years prior to him getting out of the Army. Then they medically separated him from the Army, and then they just kind of did away with everything. And now they're sitting there saying, like, his pancreas is shutting down. He's got autoimmune disease. His liver's shutting down. Like, his whole body is just slowly shutting down. And it's nothing in the genetics in his family, nothing in anything, you know. And it's just like.
And he was deployed to the same spot in Afghanistan?
So it's like, and then
Man,
you turn.
how did it blows my mind how the VA is not all over this.
Oh, dude, it's because they're just going to keep using all of us as guinea pigs, same way they did in active duty. I mean, hey, we are the FDA's freaking guinea pigs for research.
Oh, for sure. But didn't you say that the only facility that can treat him is in Indiana?
No, the only one that he can actually get treatment from is in Cleveland, Ohio. And,
Ohio.
And he's looking at relocating. I mean, this is from the UP. Like, the Fallen Wounded Soldier Fund pays, I think it's once a month or every other week, for him to go from him and his family of 5 to go from the UP all the way to Cleveland, putting them up in hotels, paying for their fuel and everything else, and then going back and forth. So now the Fallen Wounded Soldier Fund and us are working together with a couple other people, and we're going to try to get the entire family relocated down to Florida around the St. Pete area.
Sure.
Because with everything that's going on, I mean, this dude went from making like, you know, 60, 70,000 a year, and his wife making 60, 70,000 a year, living in the UP. You're living like a king.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to where now he can't even get out of bed on his own. He can't do anything on his own, and his wife had to quit her job to help take care of him. I mean, it's a mess, man. And like, just see, like, the Veteran Service Office up there won't do crap for him. You know, it's just like,
That's
they
insane.
literally told him, like, you look fine. He's like, well,
I'm
not. You know, it's like, I mean, like, he was pulling out the stack of medical stuff for the last, like, couple of years he's been out, and it was a book, dude. I was just like, oh, my God, man.
That's unreal.
And just watching him, like, I felt so bad for him. And it goes to show, like, honestly, I put him in touch with, you know, our people out in Colorado with doing the CBD oils and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, and just in there talking to him and his wife, and, like, my heart really goes out to him, you know. And just see nobody really doing anything about it. Like, nobody, like, they're constantly, like, talking about the CBDs. You look at the bullshit that they just passed here in Michigan. Laura trying to get involved with, you know, MDARD's, you know, industrial hemp industry. So now Laura is so greedy, and the state of Michigan's so greedy, they're shutting down, like, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS's, like, natural supplement stores that have CBDs that they're selling over the counter.
Yeah.
Now they have to stop. If not, then they have to apply through the state of Michigan's Michigan Medical Marijuana Facilities Licensing Act and pay like the $48,000 licensing fee plus the 280 tax implication, which is a couple of $100,000 a year because you pay taxes on your revenue.
Yeah.
You know, so they're going after all these massive corporations, and it's like, well, why are all these people leaving Michigan? Because you're trying to tax the shit out of them until they're out of existence. Like, what does the state have to do with industrial hemp? Like, I really don't understand that.
And why are they going after all of this now when there's going to be a vote on it in November and it's going to pass? It might be a vote before November, so it doesn't mess with the election.
Well,
it's to me, it's wasted time and wasted energy going after these people when there is it's about to turn the corner.
I mean, even seeing this stuff the way the Farm Bill Act of 2018, seeing that getting kicked back over immigration reform and whatever BS, and they're going to keep pushing it week after week. They have to push it. And on that bill, it's actually written in there protecting industrial hemp as an agricultural commodity, putting the responsibilities in the hands of the Department of Agriculture.
Sure.
Where it should be. Within doing this, they're saying, but it's also up to the states on whether or not they permit it and everything else. Well, Laura instantly was just like, oh, money grab. And it's like, come on, man. Like, it sat there instantly. Phones started blowing up. Our attorney started calling us. Farmers are calling us like, hey, how's this going to affect us moving forward with hemp cultivation? It's like, I don't know. Guess we'll find out. I guess I get to be the first scapegoat in Michigan.
That's crazy.
So especially saying, and it kind of leads into, and I'm really hoping Michigan or University of Michigan does something about this, because I've had a couple of meetings with them. We took this proposal to Michigan State with the industrial hemp.
Sure.
All over it. Hey, man, we want to do CBD research on veterans. We got the veterans that have volunteered, that have signed up. They want to start getting away from some of these narcos and some of this other crap.
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
Doing. Then they want to start experimenting with CBDs. It's proven, they've been using it for the last few months. They love it. These guys are willing to sign up. All we need is the doctors and the professors to monitor the research.
Sure.
Michigan State, all over it. Conservation societies, all over it. Other organizations, all over it. University of Michigan, well, how much money are we going to get out of this, and what other schools are participating?
Shut up.
Yeah, dude. Like, it was one of those things where you're sitting there having to tell them, well, Purdue's participating in it, NYC's participating, University of Colorado at Boulder's doing it, Seattle's doing it, MIT's doing it, telling all these people, and they're just like, well, all right, well, what other big universities in this region's doing it? Is, Ohio State? It's like, what?
So, to back on that, my boy Kenny, I have my live feed going. He said, hemp-derived CBD got someone really close to me off heroin.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, look up Warfighter Hemp, tell your radio people, CBD produced by veterans for veterans. That's pretty cool. Thanks, Ken. I didn't know that. So, I mean, it's proven seizures, joint pain, getting people off heroin. Like, it's the pharma narrative in this country is what's driving this down.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and it absolutely is. And everybody's too unsure about it. They want to tax it, but they don't know how to tax it. They don't know how to regulate it. They don't know how to do anything.
Right.
So they're just trying to figure it out. Like right now it's aggravating just because of the fact that there's so much research backing it up. Like the proposal that we gave to Michigan State University and University of Michigan, the VA even said, it's just like, you know what, we're participating in this. If you've got the veterans and you're already running it through the organization, you're doing all this stuff, all they got to do is sign off on the form that you're already giving the guys, and we can participate in this.
And then it can be documented.
Exactly, legally documented.
But because you can say, well, this person's been taking CBD and it's been helping, but if it's not medically documented, nobody of position of power is going to listen. So hopefully that goes through.
I'm hoping, and I'm honestly thinking it will, and if not, then.
And if you guys need a veteran to participate for CBD, hello.
Oh yeah. Well, if you would have been at the last meeting, it would have been talked about.
Someone told me the wrong time, Beard.
No, I said double check with Clay.
You said 2 to 4, and then I texted Clay at noon, and he was like, yeah, it started at noon. I'm like, great.
Clay's a bonehead. The general consensus, though, at that meeting, like, nobody showed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, nobody. I think it was, like, 4 guys that showed up. And when I started calling, like, Clay was pretty mad about it, him and Matt, because they drove over for Lansing to kind of fill in for me. And they were like, well, nobody showed up. It was only, like, 4 people here, and dude, I'm sorry. I started making phone calls, and everybody I talked to was just like, we figured if you weren't there, like, nothing was going to get done or talked about. I was like, come on, dude. And they was like, seriously, I've been trying to get everybody, pulling their weight for a while now. So it was just like, oh, man, come on. It's like, if Clay's stepping in for the meeting, stuff's going to get covered.
Yeah, for sure.
There's like the directives were already in place, like the topics, the talking points, like everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I definitely want to say thanks to a lot of the guys out there. We've been getting a lot of guys stepping up, helping out. And then we've had a couple of guys that trickled off, for whatever personal reasons. It's just, I don't know if it just kind of got too much stress for them or what, but
it is what it is.
Like I was sending reports back to the Fallen Wounded Soldier Fund for some of the people that we're kind of collaborating on, and like one of the guys we're going back and forth with, and originally we started collaborating with them, and back last year, back around August-September time frame, and he was trying to get back on his feet and stuff, and I introduced him with the guy, with Jason Foltz and those guys, and they were trying to work something out with them, and I was kind of mediating between them. Well, they dropped the ball big time.
Yeah.
Ended up really hosing this guy over. Surprise, surprise. So I've been staying in contact with him and stuff, and like just hearing him now, like hearing where he's at mentally, it's in such a better place, when he's sitting there, like we talked about a week or two ago, when he was sitting there talking. He started to vent and release on it. He was like, well, I don't want to say anything because, I know you guys kind of work closely with, Jason Foltz and those guys at Prevention Concepts. I was like, actually, dude.
We don't.
Like,
at all.
We've completely pulled away from them, and the incident with you was one of the incidents, and he was just like, all right, and he just kind of went into the whole spill. But like seeing some of the guys and some of the connections, like another veteran that's up in his area, up in the Saginaw area, has been doing pretty good, and he's actually assisting veterans getting off the street, and him and his investor actually going and buying homes that are like on land auction and stuff. He'll start to renovate them, get them suitable, get the veteran and family to move in to finish the renovations and help them through, various things, and then once he gets them stable enough, he's giving them the option to purchase the house back off a land contract.
Oh, wow.
So, and I've got him set. I've set up a couple of guys, tried to get Percy up there with them, but that didn't work out. Percy, wherever you are, hopefully you know that, we still care about you and we're still here for you. Just pull your head out your ass and man up, hold yourself accountable, and come back.
Yeah, and, I actually I had a conversation last night with a guy. His wife actually does. They started off by doing care packages or like backpacks for homeless people, and then it turned into for veterans. And because they live in Indiana, and they started doing it in Chicago, and then they found out that there was homeless veterans, which to them blew their mind. They're like, wait, why are there homeless veterans? Bigger problem than most people even realize. Yep. And now it got approved by the state of Indiana. His wife runs a center for veterans. It houses, I think she said, or he said, it's 44 vets live there, and they have they get food catered to them. They get the access to job skills resume, something to put them back on their feet, because what a lot of people don't really realize is that reintegration into civilian society after coming out, some people take it after some time, some people just don't.
Yeah.
Like, I spent 4 years of my life, like, I would have spent 20 if I could.
Yeah.
Eating, breathing, sleeping Marine Corps, like, there's still things that are still ingrained in me that I will never lose. But you guys that did 4, 5, 6 tours. How many tours? Whatever. You did 10 tours.
Somewhere.
Yeah. But you do that for 10, 12 years. It changes you from being a job to being your life. Yep. Like, that's how you react to things, and that's how you process things, because it's beaten into your head from day one. And the fact that there are people that are doing that, and the fact that this is the reason that I'm a part of Odin's, is because we do stuff like going up, driving how far up into the UP,
Colorado,
to check on people.
West Virginia, totaling a truck out en route.
Yeah, way to go. Who gave you the keys?
Well, obviously the Air Force and double checking their fucking pilots, because the guy was an Air Force guy that T-boned me on an interview. Oh no, that was a different guy, wasn't it? Never mind. That was another accident where a guy T-boned me.
Yeah. But still, it's
When I actually had this conversation earlier with the guy, he came over and was checking out our refrigerator. Every one of our appliances just decided to just probably mess. One of the boys sitting there messing with me, telling me I'm probably a pogue with a beard like this.
I mean, you are super. I mean, I'm a pogue, and I see that's why mine's nice and clean. Yours is like Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Grizzly Adams' beard had a baby that raped another beard, and it just landed on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So, but
Jennifer's face was priceless.
Like I was talking to that cat earlier, was yeah, right, okay, he said probably the guy that hit me, but the guy that I was sitting there talking to earlier, he was like, hey, if you know any vets, like I'm getting called a lot by guys that are sitting there saying, hey, do you need vets, or we need vets to come work for us, we were told you're the guy to contact, and like one of the guys earlier when I was kind of talking to him, he was coming over to check on the refrigerator. Well, he's a vet. And we were just kind of talking, and he's just sitting there, and he goes, well, I love hiring vets. He goes, the problem is, it's finding one that's not messed up, that's willing to work. And I was like, well, it's not necessarily the issue. He goes, well, in this industry, I was like, yeah, because the guys that are solid are solid.
Sure.
They're not going to come back and look for this. It's the guys that typically are lost looking for a leader.
Yeah.
That are the ones that you're finding. And if you put them into a position trying to empower them and you're not properly leading them, showing them how to empower themselves, then you're just simply putting a body out there. It's no different, than anything else. It's no different than just, filling in the gaps, wherever you can,
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that we've been trying to explain to a lot of the guys. And I'm trying to explain with, even guys within Odin's. I understand, they're telling me a lot of times I'm too compassionate, or I'm too empathetic towards these guys or whatever the case is. Like, no, it's not that, dude. It's a product of the environment. It's like everybody sees, a lot of the stuff that I've got, going on or whatever the case is. It's like, well, you made it. And it's like, I barely hang on every day, she'll tell you. But on the same note, it's like a lot of my stuff, I know that it's not just military experience.
Right.
And there's a lot of guys out there that, have a lot of the same experiences pre-military. Mm-hmm. That, like with me, well over a dozen recorded concussions before I ever went in the Marines, from playing football, rugby, and everything else, breaking my neck, collapsing a lung, just being crushed and then still playing rugby and then going in. Seeing friends die right beside me, drive-bys, getting shot, all kinds of stuff, and then going into the service. So when I got out, took a few more dozen concussions, while active duty. When I got out, my head was switched. It's like it's stuck in one gear, and that's what a lot of these guys, they get out, they're stuck in one gear. They're remembering the way that things used to be, then they remember the training, and then they try to come in and force change everything, and it doesn't work, and then they just crash and burn.
Exactly.
It's just like, all right, well, you need that right leader and that right guidance going into that, saying, okay, well, let's sit down for a minute. Let's think about this before we attack it. You're not just going to go rush into, kicking a door down without a team with you. Don't sit there and blitz a problem without having an accurate solution for it.
Sure.
And that's what she catches, Jennifer catches me on that all the time. I'll do it every single day. I'll get so consumed with the problem. Like, I'll start getting anxious, aggravated, and amped up, focusing on the problem. Then it takes me a few minutes, like, well, shit, that was an easy solution. All I had to do is just calm myself down and think for a second, think about the solution. All right, well, that's an easy solution. Let's just get it fixed.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of things. A lot of guys, they can't focus on the solutions. They just get so wrapped up with the problem.
Absolutely. And you know what? That brings it back to being able to give them help, because they don't know how to get the solution. And like I've said before, if the VA takes them, which thank God they took me and Juice, they helped us find the solution, because I guarantee without that we would be in a horrible spot. That was a hard downward spiral.
I'm just glad we didn't catch you behind Dollar General. Glad we stopped you at Walmart.
Yeah, Dollar General would be way worse than Walmart, and it was a Costco.
Oh, my bad. My
Yeah,
bad. My
upgrade.
Bad. My bad. And that's like, and it kind of goes into like one of the guys right now that we're kind of helping, up in the Flint area. Put a couple of guys in contact with him, and he came down to one of our meetings, got referred over from the Fallen Wounded Soldier Fund, and everybody thought he was on something at the meeting.
The dude who just bought or got that house.
Yeah.
It looked like it.
Well, and we're talking to him and stuff. Well, you come to find out, like, nobody ever really dug in too much to it. I didn't, anybody else did, and I never really approached Dr. Phillips or anybody, to ask him what was, what was really involved with him, like why he got. Because a lot of times whenever we work with other organizations, we try to get as much information as possible.
Sure.
And depending on who it is, we'll get them to sign off on a form, and then we'll send that to the VA and kind of get a summary, of what exactly is the most pressing topic with them, or what's a concern or an issue, if they've been working with a social worker or mental therapist or somebody. Well, with him, we weren't getting a lot of feedback, and then we just started getting a lot of erratic behavior, and it wasn't until recently, like everybody was thinking, it was, addiction, everything else, which he did come out and say that he was recovering and he was doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We just found out recently that his erratic behaviors, his, sleeping, stuff like that's due to a brain tumor.
Shut up.
He developed a brain tumor right after he got back from a deployment to where? Afghanistan. So I'm just sitting there, it's like, wow. So I'm sitting there talking, and all these other guys are like, some of they're not ripping into him, but, it's one of those things where they're kind of being stern with him, and, he's kind of getting confused. I mean, the best way to explain this is, and I love Piney to death, and I hope if Piney sees this, he doesn't take it the wrong way, is, some of the stuff with Piney, the impulsiveness, and he can't control it because he had the same thing. Deployed to Afghanistan, tumor, had the tumor removed. Now he's on 9 million medications to try to, control his impulse. He'll just fly off the handle like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm starting to see this with this other guy, I'm just like, all right, so now we're trying to get him help, and we've got him tied into, the county up there. I think the VA, we're waiting on Team Rubicon to get back with us, so that way we can actually get them some assistance.
That's good.
I mean, but it's just seeing some of the guys actually working, pulling together, and just working with those guys is pretty nice. Oh, big guy got to go potty.
Oh, shut up.
Well, there's been actually a lot of really cool things going on. I mean, definitely want to give Bill and the guys over there with Havoc Hounds a nice shout out. He's been doing a lot of stuff, getting dogs trained, getting some stuff done. They're working, moving forward right now. Him and Bonnie doing some really amazing work. He's actually doing decoy training right now. Bonnie's working with leader dogs for the blind leader dogs of America, I believe it is, or leader dogs of America. So we're actually about to start working with them on a few things, hopefully to start getting some of these dogs reclassified for service animals. So I'm really stoked about that. But one of the biggest things is actually Livingston County. We've got a gentleman that is all over me right now about wanting to try to donate 21 acres of land to Odin's Outcast on a 99-year lease. I'm loving it. I think it's awesome that we can actually get some of this stuff going and get some of this stuff moving forward. But again, it takes work from the entire community. When you hear everybody sitting there talking about that, we got 30, 40, 50 guys that come in and help, that doesn't mean they all come in and help at once. That means the guys are coming in sporadic. We may get, 20, 25 guys to come in at the same time on meetings because of work schedules or whatever the case is. We go to volunteer for something, we can get anywhere from 5 guys to 20 guys to show up for that. But we definitely need more assistance from people. I mean, from professionals, from volunteers. I mean, right now we're in the process of getting an intern from, the University of Michigan. We need everybody to kind of pull their weight on this one. Like, not really pull their weight, but to really step up and show the support. Because if people sit there and like everybody's like, oh, well, you got 21 acres, we can just go out there and clear it and we can build some properties. And, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, guys, you're not looking. All right, so first we got to get the dozer expense. Then we got grading expenses. Then we got to build the locations. Then we got to get sewer. We got to get water. We got to get electric. Then we got to worry about food. We got to do this. There's like, oh, well, all that can't cost that much. Like, you got 12 guys on a property, feeding them year round, 3 meals a day. You're going to be looking at a couple $100,000 a year. Oh, no way, dude. It's like, yeah, do the math, bro. Like $10 a person per meal per day. That's $30 a person times 12. That's $360 a day times 365 days a year. That's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's like, oh, we can, you know, and the same motto with like prevention concepts and, you know, Jason over there, oh, we'll just move forward with it, and then, you know, and then we'll get the donors. Like, no, dude, you got to get the program written and get the donors and get the financials in order, and then move forward.
For sure.
Not going around ripping people off, robbing them. Speaking of karma's a bitch, if anybody wants to go to Oakland County mugshots, they will see a beautiful picture of Jason Foltz, co-founder of Prevention Concepts. Nice, beautiful mugshot from November.
And from May.
And from May.
May 11th.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a day for me. That's the day that I graduated from Marine Corps boot camp. Was May 11th, 2007.
What is it? November 7th. Actually, I believe November 7th is the day, 7th or 11th, one of the two, was the day I broke my neck when I was 17.
Really?
Yeah, so that'd be kind of weird. That's a double whammy karma, bitch.
Right.
And both days you got arrested was because 2 of the Marines that you ripped off, well, involved with the group you ripped off.
Yeah.
So, hey, well, karma's a bitch.
Bye.
Yep. I do want to say something real quick, though. This is something that's actually really cool. You know, we'll get off all that stuff. And it's actually a World War II veteran that was born in Texas, lives here in Michigan. He was in World War II from 1944 to 46. He deployed to Germany, Norway, and almost saw combat duty on D-Day on June 6th, which just so happened to be his 26th birthday, but he was pulled off the boat heading to Normandy shore at the last minute.
Sure.
So basically what his family's doing is for his 100th birthday, they're trying to get him 100 birthday cards.
That's cool.
So what his family is actually, it's a big article written up in it in Fox News that I was looking at earlier. If anybody, and I highly recommend everybody just send this guy a letter just to show him the overwhelming amount of support and love. You know, that's a lot of respect for a guy to walk through the shit he did and still be able to sit there and, you know, to live 100 years old. And I mean, looking at the pictures of the guy, he actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, like,
Does
for
he
his
look
age,
100?
I mean, he doesn't really look 100. I mean, he definitely doesn't. It's like, I don't know what he's drinking, but he needs to share whatever that stuff is.
Hey.
It's probably CBD oil.
No, he probably smokes cigar and drinks Jack.
Yeah, right. Then he eats 3 strips of bacon every morning.
He eats bullets and pisses lead.
Yeah. But he still eats bacon.
Well, yeah.
Everybody should eat bacon.
If you don't like bacon, you see, there are 2 types of people. You either like bacon or you're wrong.
We either like bacon or you voted for Hillary Clinton. Yeah. So,
You know what? That's actually true about my ex-girlfriend. She doesn't eat bacon and vote for Hillary Clinton. That's funny.
what I get a crack out of, and just speaking of Hillary Clinton, is for some reason, every time I go into Jennifer's Nana's house, her grandmother's house, like, she always has to make a comment about how awesome Hillary Clinton is, how horrible Trump is, and she is always wearing her "I voted for Hillary" button.
Do you ever just go up to her and go, Benghazi, and then walk away?
I'm trying to be nice because she's this old lady now, so
she's a sweetheart.
she's
Except for she just has misguided.
she's going senile is the only thing I can. I mean, like,
That's
bless
fair.
her heart, she's a sweetheart. Yeah, you see that? Bless her heart.
Bless her heart.
So, but she's a sweet woman. She's just very, very, very confused at her age. But that's okay. A lot of people are now.
Yeah.
But if anybody wants to write this guy, definitely it's heavily.
Do you have the address?
recommended.
Do you have the address?
Yes, I do.
When's his 100th birthday?
That's what I was just looking. It's June 6th.
Yeah, If you give me that, shoot me that address, I'll put it out on my face page.
Absolutely. Your face page.
Yeah, it's not a book; it's an internet page. It's called Face Page. You're welcome.
Oh, nice. All right. So is it just pictures of your face all over the page?
Duh.
Is it all a bunch of headshots of you just making like random, like just goofy faces?
Well, it's my model poses, so yeah.
Ah.
I actually have my first commercial on Saturday.
Oh, it's not this coming Saturday? Mm-hmm. Can I come photobomb it?
Absolutely not.
Is it here in Michigan?
Yeah.
Where's it at? I want to be. Oh, can I be your protection detail?
No.
Dude, let me be your protection.
No.
I'll totally
show up with a bodyguard, give you one of those little earpieces. And
oh,
like,
dude,
excuse me.
I'll totally go ahead and mic up, freaking go ahead and plate up. We'll go rent an SUV, freaking roll up on them, just let you get out.
Awesome.
Come on, let's do it. We can even do a 2-vehicle motorcade.
No.
Come on.
No.
You never did that?
No, but for something, not my first one, but for something we should definitely do that. It'd be funny. Get like Clay and Matt and you and just be like my security detail. Like, yeah, I don't know if you know this. I'm kind of a big deal.
Oh, we need to do that for Jennifer one night. Take her to the casino.
Yes, and we'll just stand behind her in suits with earpieces.
Just all those
around
her all night. She's shaking her head. Yes, nobody can see it.
Get on dressed up to the nines and just, sweetheart, we got you. People will be like, oh my gosh, who is that?
Well, she's already been approached by a few people thinking she's famous. And then if you turn around and add, all of us standing around her with no necks and suits on, then I think she'll definitely get some attention. For some reason, every time I wear a suit with this beard, everybody thinks I'm famous for some reason. Like, you get a lot of people that look at me and
and then play into it, be like, yeah, let's take a picture.
I was just telling her about that when I broke my neck, actually. It was right around the time I think somebody from Seattle Seahawks had broken their neck. And so I was like walked into the gas station and had the halo on and everything from that they had to bolt on and suspend it and everything. And this was like there towards the end. Walk in, this lady just like instantly just like, oh my god. So they're thinking that I was the guy that broke his neck in the Seahawks.
Oh wow.
And I don't even think the guy was white. So I'm just like going along with it and all this other stuff. And she asked me for my autograph and everything else. Yeah, I signed it. I didn't want to break her heart and let her know that I was a nobody.
Right.
I was just like, all right, lady, thanks. You're making me feel good. Yeah, I'm famous. Here you go. This ain't going to get you a penny, but
here you go.
You got it.
Speaking of NFL players, did you hear about J.J. Watt?
Yeah, dude.
Paying for all the funerals of the people who died and then going to the hospital to visit. Like, what a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
Literally, and that's the thing. I'm sure did it without a second thought, at the drop of a hat. He's
done stuff like that all the time.
He donated how many millions of dollars to the relief when they had the hurricane.
Yep.
Like, honestly, just a stand-up guy. Yeah, and you see all these rich football players who get paid millions of dollars to carry around a ball and don't give a shit about anybody else. And then you got guys like that who are like, you know what? That's why I watch the sport, because of guys like you.
Exactly. Well, I still don't watch it because you got idiots who want to kneel during the.
Oh no, he hasn't been signed by a team since.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, oh yeah. Well, I know he hasn't.
And you know how many teams are made that a rule that if you do that, you're cut.
Well, I know the Cowboys. There's been quite a few.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah, there's been quite a few of them that came out and said if you try to do that, then we're cutting you off.
Yeah,
the team.
bye. You want to because here's the way you got to look at it. Do you go and express your political views at your job? No, you go there to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your job is. You are working. You want to express your political views? Go ahead and do it on your own time.
We got operator John here. It worked out on some jobs with him and stuff, and he'll be the first one to tell you, climb off a piece of equipment, start expressing your political opinion, and then sit there and say, I'm going on strike because I want to protest the American flag. You're going to have any rep, anybody that's going to walk up, be a foreman, supervisor, whether you're on the job, Scott will walk up to you. He'll fire you.
On the spot.
Anybody. I would. You sit there and you tell me if I'm on a job site and you walk up and you sit on your ass and say I'm protesting something, be like, all right, well, you can protest your ass on your couch. Get off the job site. There's too many people that, want to fill your shoes.
Right.
Same thing should go with the NFL. Any one of them. There's too many people that want that opportunity to get in there. What are you protesting? That you make millions of dollars, you went to college for free,
and
you're not giving anything back to your community.
Exactly. You complain about the wage disparity of minorities, yet don't do anything for the minority community. You just sit there and take a knee because it's easy, because you get attention. Go away. Go away. No one cares.
It's like there's so many people. You got like J.J. Watts. You've got, the average person getting out there doing what they can. Just to try to help provide for the community. You've got people that it could actually make a difference that just refuse to.
Yeah.
So I don't really.
Yeah. Tell me how. Hey, Colin. Tell me how you're a plus getting paid $8 million a year to play a game.
Well, now he ain't getting paid shit.
Good. I hope he doesn't.
Like ne'er not a nutter.
I don't know what you just said right there, but it sounds good.
And then also, anybody that's looking for work right now in demo and reno stuff, give me a shout. There's quite a few guys right now. They're looking for some guys to fill in some shoes with the fifth season here, construction season.
I actually might have somebody I need to send your way.
Definitely want to give a shout out to American Badass Apparel. They sent me some gear. I want to let you guys know, I don't know what the deal is with Brighton mail service, but they suck. They suck so bad. So bad. Like, I'll get a letter, dude, that's post stamped for like 3 weeks prior. Like, sitting there knowing something like, dude sent me a freaking American Badass Apparel shirt, and I'm hoping to get it like really soon. I'm about to go up there and flip out at the post office because they said that where I live at, it's on right there at the Triangle.
Yeah.
Or not where I live at, but where the office is, the clubhouse. It's right there at
Yeah.
Brighton Road and Chilson Road.
Sure.
Brighton Road is Brighton. Chilson Road is Howell. So neither one of them communicate because depending on what side of the road the mailbox is on depends on what post office it goes to. So Dewey, the owner of the property, said he had it on the house side to save taxes. Well, whenever mail got delivered, instead of taking it to the mailbox or taking it to the Howell post office, they would send it to Brighton because they said, well, the address, although the mailbox is on the house side, the address is facing the Brighton side.
Shut up.
No, I'm serious, dude. So right now, like anything that comes to that office basically goes back and forth between the post offices until
it doesn't get delivered.
It never gets delivered. So you've got to go in there and just be like, hey, I'm here to get the mail for this, this, and this, and they've got to pull it into the system, and then hopefully they send it over with, more than 48 hours prior, because if they said, yeah, it was sent on a truck this morning, you might as well wait for at least a day or two before you go try to pick it up. So, it's ridiculous. Like, Brighton sucks. For being such a high-income area, property tax is outrageous. The average median, it being the average or the highest household income in the state, highest property taxes in the state, some of the nicest areas in the state. They have the shittiest post office. Like, horrible. Like, we should just, never mind.
Yeah, I know where you were going with that, and it's smart for you to stop. Because I think like you think, and we can't say those things.
I think I've had like 3 different male people. Like, the first lady was really nice. Like, she was super nice. And then we've had 2 other people. Now I kind of just want to sit out there with slingshots and just like clip them. Dude, I get mail from like all kinds of people. Like, not even our address, not our names, nothing. I mean, like, have no clue. You put stuff back in the mailbox saying send it to the right address. It'll just sit in the mailbox. Like, you basically, like, have to drive it to the post office box. And
why don't you just switch your mailbox to the right side of the road?
Well, this is even at my house, dude. Even at my house in Brighton.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Can you move your mailbox?
Well, no, because then I won't live on my road.
What I'm saying at the clubhouse, you said it sits on the property sits on one side of the road and the mailbox sits on the other side of the road. Why can't you move your mailbox to the driveway?
Dewey said he tried that, and then when he puts it on the other side, I'm thinking just flopping the numbers around. But the mailbox is down right now because the chain that went across, that hooked into the mailbox, somebody decided to drive through the chain and rip the mailbox down.
Shut up.
Yeah, so then we put those big timbers blocking the road off because people keep cutting through there and making a shortcut.
Yeah.
People are actually those big, giant, freaking, like, telephone pole timbers that we moved out there blocking it off. People are actually showing up and moving them out of the way so they can turn around there and, like, cut through because they missed their turn and stuff.
Well, then we should do something more. You know what we should? Oh, I have an idea.
Spike strips.
Concrete posts.
I was thinking, like,
You can
spike strips.
You can make a frame out of 2x4s, and all you got to do is fill it with cement, and it'll cement to the ground. And then they can't turn around. They can't move it. It's concrete.
Well, I was thinking, like, with that giant oak tree that's sitting there, taking those big telephone timbers, suspending them up and hooking it to a tripwire, so then when they go through it, it just, boom, just crack.
Yeah,
Perfect.
dude, get some claymores.
That's going a little, I'd rather go with an IED.
No.
It's cheaper. Claymores cost too much.
That's true.
You got to improvise. Ha, get it?
Josh made it funny. Because you know how to improvise, adapt, and overcome.
Yeah, sure. I just like to blow things up.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, which I haven't done it in a while lately, but I kind of feel like it. I feel like my neighbors are coming due.
You know what we should do?
Explosion.
We should get some tannerite.
We did. Well, we were doing it last year just to piss our neighbors off. We were because they're annoying as shit.
Yeah.
And I can't stand them. So, and we're selling the house next year just so I can move away from them before I do end up like cutting their gas lines or something.
Yeah, don't do that.
I know. So I just got to move out of there. Like, oh, it's horrible.
Wait, didn't you just move?
I just bought the place like 3 years ago. I'm about to sell it already just because I can't stand like the one neighbor on one side of me. She's like a raging alcoholic and just mean, like just crazy mean, like hollering out the windows at us and like just creepy as shit. And then the other side, I hired the dad that lives there to come do some work for me at the house while I was gone, and he just pretty much just stiffed me on it. And then the mom is like, his wife is just nuts. And then I hired the daughter to come over and clean the house, and then stuff started coming up missing. So it's just like, all right, you guys stay the hell out of here. So I haven't really made too good of friends with the people behind me just because, 2 out of 3 are freaking nutbags. So I don't really want to meet the third one because if the third one's crazy too, then I'm setting fires. And I was going to be like, well, time to buy some properties off land auction. So we figured it'd be more effective and I'd stay out of jail if we just put my house up for sale and
Sounds like
moved a little further out in the country.
And then now that you live out in the country, we can shoot guns. We can do all the things.
Oh, dude, last year I was laughing so hard. We were taking 3-inch mortars and using them as basically hand grenades. And we were putting them right up against the side of their fence and their property because they were in there annoying everybody all night. Like, because the one son plays the drums and he'll decide to start playing his drums at like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Then they'll just start bumping out stereo system and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, come on, seriously? So, and I'm not going to call the cops. So in return, I know that they usually sleep in until 11, 12 o'clock or whatever. Well, last year we were setting off. We know there's a noise ordinance to where past 10 p.m. is supposed to be quiet and then before 8 a.m. So we go out there at 8 a.m. last year a couple of times and set off mortars right there at the back. And you would hear them screaming, it's like, mother, what the? It's just like, keep bumping that system. I'll do it every morning. So if anybody knows what a 3-inch mortar sounds like when you take it out of the tube and take the powder off of it, shorten the fuse, and just set it up as a grenade, you will leave a crater in the ground. Like, you definitely will. So I've got a couple of them in my yard, so we stopped doing it in my yard and just started paying the neighbor favors. So they stopped bumping their system. Well, they started doing it here recently, so I might have to set off a couple more mortars to put them back in check again.
Can I come?
Yeah.
All right. Sign me up, coach.
I think we're going to do like this massive party. I'm only going to invite the neighbors behind me, and we're just going to have this massive bash like when we go to sell the house.
Cool.
I just trash everything. I think I'm going this week to start cutting down like half their trees. They're like kind of laying over too close to my driveway. I'm just going to go over there and just like scalp half their tree and be like, "What's up?" Just throw their half back in their yard.
Sounds about right.
You want to help me do that
This weekend? No.
Well, no, because you're active. I've got a security detail, so I can't, can I?
No.
So I forgot I'm working this weekend.
No. I'm leaving actually Sunday. I'm leaving down to Kentucky for work. I have to work on Memorial Day.
Yeah. Well, American Badass is telling us different ways of making some concoctions.
Yeah, buddy. Absolutely.
But he needs to be careful. It's on Instagram. There's eyes everywhere. Yeah, he's definitely trying to tell us some good ways with some fertilizer and some nitrogen and some other stuff.
You know, you can make napalm with gasoline and styrofoam.
You can make just about anything you want.
Yeah.
You know that very nice fireball effect is chlorine and brake fluid. Have you ever tried it? Don't stand around it when it happens, and do not try to mix it standing over it, with it, or anywhere near it. So a lot of times, I'll show you. It's pretty cool, actually. They just just fill you a little container with some just brake fluid, then go get you a chlorine tablet. Test it out at your backyard. Just go get you a chlorine tablet and throw it in there. Step back, it'll start shooting a flame straight up in the air.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's pretty fun.
I want to do that.
You can roast marshmallows really quick.
I'm learning all the well, you know, if you take the works, the cleaning product, you take little tabs of aluminum foil, put it in, close the cap, shake it up.
Hey, we gotta stop talking about explosives now. But I'm getting too excited.
I know, it's fun though.
But it's pretty cool. One of the things that when I was talking about moving the studio over to Livingston County and some of the stuff we're trying to do over there, I have been sitting there kind of going back and forth, which is pretty cool, with Gage Amesler, which he's the guy that wrote the book, The Strains of War. He brought some of the Hindu Kush seeds back, or Afghan Kush seeds, back from Afghanistan while he was deployed over there. And some of the stuff that he's trying to do right now is really awesome. He's working with 420 The Man, Tom, another vet, another group of guys. Like, some of the stuff they're doing is really awesome. Gage is about to start getting a little bit more involved in some of the stuff that Odin's Outcast is doing, and start just basically helping, assisting. And then we're hoping to get him on one of the segments coming up soon to come in and talk about his book, and actually go into full detail with the book. And it's actually, I'm waiting on, I believe, Chris, you're watching, I see you on here. Need to get that book back so we can get some other guys reading it. I ain't giving up my copy. He signed it.
Well, ain't you special?
Well, that's what he gave me, the signed copy of it. I was like, this is going to me. It says the Odin's Outcast, but, I mean, I kind of want to keep it because it's cool.
I mean, you pretty much are the face of Odin's.
I don't know why I'm such an ugly one. Man, they should find somebody nicer.
Well,
Hey, Gage, can we make you the face? Or Blake, there you go.
I'm pretty.
We should. You know what? We should do some modeling photos with you and then have you plastered all over Odin's website.
Beautiful. Let's do it.
I think it's
a
gorgeous thing.
You think we should get Mowgli to do it?
Yeah, no. No. Yeah.
It's a joke.
No.
It's a remember, we still have to have a conversation about that.
Yes, we do.
Because that is the thing.
So if anybody doesn't know what who Mowgli is, it is Mike Meglin, marketing. Stay away from this guy. He's scatterbrained. He's a nice guy. He pays you a lot of nice compliments. But to get him to follow through and complete a task, you've got better odds of winning the lottery. And this guy.
You know, he was supposed to do the video for my dad's memorial party and was late on it and completely fucked it up.
No.
Yep.
Well, the same thing. Like he came in and tried to do video footage from in here, and like the stuff that he was cutting and editing was just like, come on, dude, seriously. It's like he's just making like spoof videos. It's just like, man, come on, Cletus.
Right. Well, yeah, we should. No, I have a. We got some Odin's gear. I have a friend who will definitely do those pictures.
All right. Well, I know that that's one of the things that doing right now. Eventually, I've got to get time to get on the website and get that changed around. I guess I'm like a website design. And I actually got a lot of compliments today on. There's a meeting that two of my partners with Fiona Transportation they went to, and I wasn't able to attend. And that was one of the things that there was a lot of props on the website I designed. I've been getting a lot of really positive feedback on my website designing. And you know what? I never designed a single freaking website in my life until like Odin's Outcast website a couple of years ago. Now I'm getting pretty savvy at it. I should start advertising it.
Probably should.
Probably should. I mean, right now I think I own like 60-something domains. I went crazy the other day with that industrial hemp bill. Me and the attorney, Josh Colton from Camoran Law.
Yeah.
Where's the bell? We just gave him a plug. There you go.
Bazinga.
Me and him were sitting on the phone going back and forth, and like every idea, like we're basically racing trying to buy domains. So it's like every time one of us would say something, we were seeing who could type it into the domain search the fastest and hurry up and buy it. Because that way, if I buy all these domains, Camoran Law, their clients, or whoever else wants to come into those domains have to buy the domains off of us. Well, he's got a bunch of them. I've got a bunch of them. I think a couple of them are actually up to like $4,000 or $5,000 a domain. You know how much I pay for these domains?
How much?
$17.99.
And then you could sell them for $4,000 or $5,000.
Yep. So I'm just waiting on it to keep rolling out with this industrial hemp because I think there's not a single website right now around Michigan that has anything to do with hemp that you can purchase. And if it does, it's probably something you don't want. We actually tried to purchase CBD's nuts, but we couldn't.
No way. But you couldn't?
No, we couldn't. Somebody already bought it.
CBD's nuts. That is insane.
It was cbdsnuts.com.
That is one of the best websites I've ever heard of.
I know, right?
Now I'm gonna look it up on my phone and I'm gonna go to it.
But I don't think anybody's actually done anything with the website. It just says the domain's been purchased. And it's like, Yeah, that's actually you're about to see a lot of stuff start changing. That's what same thing like talking to some of these guys with the hemp. Like that's one of the things I'm really excited about is working with Michigan State because of the fact that doing the seed certification. Because right now a lot of people don't realize that industrial hemp hasn't been in this U.S. in a long time. I mean, it has been on a small scale, regulated by the state pilot programs that are partnered with universities, and that's the only way they operate. So in order for you to actually get a certified seed, you have to go through like Pakistan, China, Europe, Canada, and only certain countries that actually have a certified seed. And when you get those certified seeds, they have to get approved through the DEA. And then once they get approved through the DEA, they get in here. Well, one of the things that, our boys out there in Colorado have been doing is he's actually got a certified seed from the state of Colorado. So now we're getting that seed. We've got the seed in Michigan. So now we're looking for test locations to prove the stability of that strain here. And it'll be the only seed that we know of that's been certified in 2 separate regions within the U.S.
Wow.
So that means that we're only got a couple more regions to spread across, and then once we get that seed certified in every region within the U.S., then we can actually have mass production of the first, stable U.S. certified seed for industrial hemp in the country. And then in order for you to get it, you got to do what? You got to deal with a bunch of vets. They're going to want to say,
Yeah, pal.
Unless you're a farmer and you're a veteran farmer, then we'll come hook you up. Well, I guess we got to go. Blake's telling me what time it is.
Because I can tell time.
No, if you say so.
It's 2029 right now.
It's 2029?
Yeah.
No, it's actually 2018, buddy. Yeah, well, definitely thanks everybody for listening to us yap again. Have a good one. This thing's about to end. And then let's see. Tune in again next week. We'll keep everybody posted on where we're actually going to be moving to and where we're going to be going. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on this one. No, this one just ended, said poor reception. But hopefully we can get everything relocated over to Livingston County here soon.
Yeah.
Blake, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, man.
All you listeners, thanks for listening. And all you slackers that didn't make it in here tonight, you were supposed to. Yeah, kiss my arse.
See.
Yeah. Everybody, Matt, Clay, Juice, Chris, yep, Josh, all you guys. Josh has got an excuse, the rest of you guys don't. All right, see you guys next week. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Later.